It was 1981. I was 14 years old, and I found myself sitting on the pulpit where the pastor normally speaks. It was Youth Sunday. Youth Sunday is where all the youth take over the entire church and run the service. I bet you can't guess which youth got to preach that day. Toastmaster of the day and fellow Toastmasters. The service started at 11 a.m. We sang a few songs, made some announcements, welcomed the guests, and took up the offering. And at 11:30, it was my turn to bring it home with the Sunday morning message.
Right.
I had my sermon all typed out, word for word. I had practiced my sermon over and over for a whole week. But on that Sunday morning, there was one problem. I was petrified. I was so scared, I don't think I looked up at the congregation the entire sermon. My palms were literally dripping with sweat. My heart was pounding, my legs were shaking, and I know my voice was quivering. Standing on that pulpit at Calvary Baptist Church in front of 100 people seemed like an eternity. I thought it would never end. But my sermon surprised everyone that day, including myself. I started preaching at 11:30 on the dot. Opened with a word of prayer, delivered 3 powerful points, each backed up with scripture and a story. I even closed with a prayer of benediction and was at the back door shaking hands at 11:35.
Wow.
At least our church members were the first ones in line for the Sunday buffets that day. Other than getting up in front of class and school, this was my first experience with public speaking. From then on, if you mentioned public speaking to me, the first thing that came to mind was this fear that was created on Youth Sunday. Fast forward to just a few years ago. I decided that I wanted to become a better speaker. Specifically, I wanted to overcome my fear of speaking. Well, I started reading books on public speaking. In particular, I read a book by Dale Carnegie, one by Craig Valentine. Now, I know you've heard of Dale Carnegie, right? This one is The Quick and Easy Way to Effective Speaking. Very good book. Have you ever heard of Craig Valentine? Craig Valentine, this is world-class speaking. The 1999 Toastmasters world champion. I highly recommend you getting world-class speaking. I also took courses and I watched speeches on YouTube. Then, one night late, while I was watching David Letterman, I had a great idea. From all these sources, the courses, the books, I decided to come up with my own top 10 list, just like David Letterman does in his monologue. The name of my top 10 list is 10 Ways to Improve My Speaking Today. Let me share them with you. Number 1, read books on public speaking. I now have approximately 10 to 15 books on speaking in my little library. Take courses on speaking. I remember when I was at Darton getting my 2-year degree, taking a speech class. I had a lot of fear back then. Lately, we're able with the internet to take classes online, and I've taken several speaking courses online. Number 3, watch great speakers on YouTube. Learn by example. One of my favorite is Charlie Tremendous Jones. You ever heard of Charlie? You got to look up Charlie Tremendous Jones. Incredible speaker. And then any of the Toastmasters world champions. You could learn an awful lot. I know I do. Number 4, find a mentor or an accountability partner. This is someone that would be honest with you on ways to improve. Number 5, and this was a very difficult one for me to practice, but write daily. The idea here is that hopefully some of the content will eventually make it into a speech. Number 6, look for opportunities to speak. Let people know that you're a speaker. Many organizations are always looking for a speaker. Number 7, during your speech, have a conversation with your audience, as if you're speaking to each person individually. Number 8, video every speech and then watch it from a coaching perspective. Now, you may not like to see yourself on video at first, but you'll be surprised how much you'll learn by watching yourself. Number 9, practice, practice, practice. And number 10, and last but not least, join Toastmasters. And there you have it. 10 ways I can improve my speaking today. But looking back, if I could change one thing about my top 10 list, it would be the order. Rather than at the bottom, I should have put join Toastmasters at the top. Thank you.